Hello and welcome to Bern, Switzerland for the World Ice Hockey Championships. I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Coming up, Finland against the USA.
1 point separates these teams. The Finns with 3, the US with 4. They both need a win and they want to stay out of the relegation zone.
We know that the Swiss are coming up next year. Who's going to go down? That's the big question. Well, earlier on today, the Canadians and the Swedes fought it out. The Swedes drew first blood in the first period. Eriksson got the pass from Rupa and made no mistake.
McLean is cleanly beaten on this shot. Some good work from Magnus Rupa. Gets the puck out. It's a one-timer for Eriksson. Nice shot for him. First goal of the game.
Sweden dominated the first period. But in the second period, the Canadians started to come back into the game. A lot of work around the front of the net, and eventually a cheeky little move by number 28, Gilmore, puts it by the goaltender.
4 of the Canadians had a touch on this puck as it came out of their zone. Good work from Burr. Nice pass from Lidster. Gilmore with a great touch there. Just gets it over the goaltender.
The second goal for Canada. Sean Burr bangs that one into the net. Fleury makes no mistake on the rebound as it comes out off the mesh, but Burr will get credit for that one.
Good work here. The Canadians were all over the Swedes. The play came into the zone. The Swede defenseman takes himself out of the play by sliding. There you see it. He's all alone. Burr, nobody around him, makes no mistake. As you mentioned, the colorful little Fleury made no mistake with the rebound either.
What a character, what a player. Bellows gets number 3 for Canada and seals this one, puts it away. Cullen does a lot of work along the boards. The Canadians really putting on the pressure, and eventually Bellows says, "Thank you very much." That's 3 for Canada.
Once again, these 3 guys out there doing a great job. Bellows with the big shot. That's Aslan View. Not much of a chance there by him and in the top corner.
So the Canadians remain undefeated. Just one more in the first round to play, and that's against the Soviet Union. There's one result from day 8. Norway beating West Germany 7-3. What's happening to the West Germans?
They've suffered a few injuries. They've played well, but not well enough to come out on top. They're really hurting here.
Here's how the Group A standings look right now. The Canadians are on top. The Soviets, the Swedes are next. The Czechs are there. And the bottom 4, USA, Finland, Norway, and West Germany, will be out of the medal round, but they still have to fight to avoid Pool B.
That's right. This is an important game, as this will decide who's going to have 5th seed, basically. The U.S. need it. Norwegians are now tied with the Finns with 3 points. Both of them would like to have those 2 points.
Well, the Norwegians must be happy with their showing. I'm sure that the Finns are a lot happier now than when they first started.
The Finns have been a bit of a disappointment. They went down 4-2 to Sweden. A tough loss to the Czechs, 6-5 to the Canadians. That was a heartbreaker. Big loss to the Soviets. Tied with Norway, and they beat the West Germans.
They have a lot of potential, Richard, and I think some of it could come out today.
They haven't shown us what we thought we'd see. Christian Ruutu, he has been a bright spot for this team. NHL experience, 3 goals and 2 assists so far. He's a good one to watch.
Well, let's not write off the Americans. They have a strong side, some goaltending in John Casey and John Blue, a young side, a mixture of college kids and NHL stars.
Well, Coach Tim Taylor has put together a young team here. The U.S. were beaten badly by the Czechs 7-1. They lost to Canada. Big defeat to the Russians. Suffered a loss to the Swedes. They've come back with 2 wins, one over the Germans, one over Norway. They seem to be putting it together better now and have come together as a team.
And on defense, the guy to watch is Jeffrey Norton, one of my favorites. 3 goals, 1 assist. He's always out there. Seems to stay on the ice for most of the game.
The heads-up defenseman can go both ways, has offensive prowess as well, as we've seen.
Coming up, Finland against USA. Join us in a moment. We'll be right back after the break. Back to Bern, Switzerland. The crowd getting set for this game between USA and Finland. Another pretty good crowd here in Bern. This tournament, the A pool really has been well attended.
They've had great support here in Switzerland. And as we said earlier, they'd have more support if this had been a year later, now that the Swiss are going to be in Pool A next year.
Let's take a look at the Finns. Lindfors and Tammy, two excellent goaltenders. Rautio, Luma, Kusisto, Rutinen, and Laxola, strong defensive players, love to go forward. They can put the puck in the net.
Yes, they're offensive-minded defensemen. They've got Järvenpää on the left wing, a good one. Jallo's a good playmaker. Järvinen's a good one out there. Jakob Wilander, we've liked him all through the tournament. He's got good goal-scoring ability.
Well, they really haven't been able to put it together until lately. Christian Ruutu is the big player for them. Vuori can do it along with Mikalainen. Keep your eye on number 25, Suminen. I like him along with Keskinen.
They've all got good wheels. They just haven't been able to put it together, and they haven't had a big offensive punch so far in this tournament.
Yuri Lipa, the Czechoslovakian, will be the official. John Blue, Jonathan Casey, the goaltenders. Casey, really strong as far as I'm concerned. Goslin, Dahlquist, Brown, Johnson, Ketchmer, some solid defense there too.
That's a good mix of college as well as professional defensemen. They've played well and they've gotten better as this tournament has gone along.
Neil Broughton is there. Danton Cole has been working hard. Thomas O'Regan, who plays in Germany, knows all about European hockey. Kip Miller, we like this kid. Ranheim, of course, has been around a long time, and he can score goals. Set him up too.
Mark Johnson, of course, the veteran New Jersey Devil, 1980 Olympic star. He's been around, he knows international hockey. Joel Otto, of course, brought over from Calgary. Mike Modano, the young star with the Minnesota North Stars. And Kevin Stevens, who's been a favorite of mine. He's a workhorse, does a lot of damage out there.
So USA on a roll right now, winning their last two games. They're looking strong. But what can they do against the stylish Finns?
I like the Americans in this game. I think that they've been putting it together well as the tournament's gone on. They've gotten better. They've progressed better. Tim Taylor's a little bit happier with their performance, and the team seems to have settled into this tournament.
You like the Americans, so I guess I'll go with the Finns, huh? So we've got Finland in the blue, playing from right to left. Starting things off, Keskinen. Batted in by the Finns, but the Americans come up with it deep in their own zone and push it down. Wilander already back. That's a giveaway there. Still right in front of the net. The Americans with Ranheim had a swing at it. Neil Broughton is there. Mark Johnson right in front. And that went scooting behind the net, and the Finns are flat-footed here just a few seconds after the opening face-off.
The Finns do look like they're down a couple of gears here. They're going to have to pick it up. They don't want to get themselves behind early in this game. The Americans do have a young team. These college kids are well fit. The pros that are out there had shorter seasons than a lot of them. They're teams that were knocked out of the playoffs. They're ready to play hockey.
So a quick start for USA. Still no goals here in the first period, but they're aggressive out there. Otto with Modano. He's got Norton back on the point. Christian Ruutu. Gregory Brown now. Brown gets it up on the boards. Otto shoots it back in. Going after it is Stevens. That shot away from him. The Americans trying to work something out. That one is kept in. Otto goes in to help out Stevens. Modano forechecking for USA. That's tipped into the neutral zone. Not a great play there as Stevens brings it back, takes a shot. The save is there.
That line's going to be throwing some muscle around. That's three pretty big boys on that line with Modano, Stevens, and Otto. They're going to be dumping that puck in and really playing the body in the Finnish zone.
Casey at one end, Lindfors at the other. Casey and Lindfors both have been solid. Reynolds flips that one behind the net, and the Finns under pressure. A great roar from the crowd as they brought it out. Some good poke checking there from the American defense. Critch now. Critch pushes that one in, and Reynolds goes after him. Excellent start from USA. Kip Miller goes in now and picks up the loose puck, gets it right in front to Reynolds. He overskates it. Right in front now again. They can't get the shot away. And coming out is 24, Mikolainen. Mikolainen into the corner. The Americans really have picked it up a gear. They started fast and now they're going even faster. Right in front, the shot there from Vilander. Cole squeezes that away and the Americans pick it up and break out. Sacco, Joseph Sacco going in, trying to get that across to Cole. Sacco still has it. Laxola was on him. Back to the point to Ketchmer, takes a shot, the deflection. Cole got the wood on that, and we'll have another face-off.
Good idea there. Heads-up play by Ketchmer. Just directed the puck towards the goal as he saw Cole skating into that slot. Cole with the tip, just put it up over the top. Ketchmer, of course, a young kid defenseman. He's 22 years old. Played in the CCHA with Lake Superior State.
Laxola to the far side. The Finns wondering what has hit them here in this first period. Some good back checking there from Thomas O'Regan as he brings it back into play. Danton Cole breaks forward. Rochanen. Laxola now. Laxola for Finland. Gently pushes that one forward. Ruutu wants it back. Järvinen, a nice little pass by him, but that's stopped by the Americans right on the blue line. O'Regan twisting and turning. Laxola takes him out of the play, but O'Regan gets right back in there. Lum shovels that one by Johnson. Ranheim is on the ice now for USA, and he goes right into the corner. Brown gets it for USA. Ranheim wants it at center, it doesn't come. Brown tips that one along the boards. Some quick stuff from both teams here in the first period. An excellent start as Ruutu gets it up to Suominen. Suominen takes the shot. Oh, Casey grabbed that one. It was labeled for the top corner. Kept in there. Turkinen pushed along to Johnson. Johnson flips it in. Neil Broughton goes after it. The Americans want this one badly. Suominen for Finland. Suominen down the left wing. Slams on the brakes. Gets the pass over. A good move from him. Yellow got the shot away, but it wasn't on the target. Broughton for USA. A little backhand number up on the wing. Modano. Lanky. Lean. The shot. Coming from Otto, wide of the net, and USA all around this net. The shot there coming from Modano. Lindfors hangs onto it and calls for a face-off.
Quite a bit of rough stuff there in front of the net. Lindfors doing a good job to keep his concentration. Referee was on the spot as that roughing was going on in front of Lindfors. 23, Henriksen will sit 2. Kevin Stevens for the U.S.
Der Spieler Nummer 25 der USA, Kevin Stevens, erhält 2 Strafminuten für hohen Stock.
Well, you can see the infraction there in front of the goal.
Stevens, a hard worker out there, just trying to position himself in front of that goal.
Laxola put that one over to the right wing. No way number 14, Järvinen, can get round Norton. Brown off the boards, intended for Frisch. Didn't go far enough. Stevens also in there. wondering what he did wrong. Fake shot there by Keskinen. Laxola getting that one way up off the blocker. That goes back to the blue line. Laxola fakes the shot and puts it over to Keskinen. To Laxola, right along the blue line. Norton shoots that one away. One minute remaining on the penalties now. The Americans working it out to the far side. Sacco wants it back and he gets it. Sacco taken out nicely by Kuusisto. Sacco chops and hangs on to Kuusisto. Spins him around. He's got to hang on there. Johnson. Luma head-manning it nicely. Intercepted there just beyond the blue line by Dahlquist. The Americans now, the backhand shot coming from Sacco wide of the target. Johnson goes in after it, presses that along the boards and gets it forward to Sacco. Sacco had O'Regan right in front of the net. He couldn't get the pass to him. 13 seconds now remaining on the penalties. 6:30 gone on the period. Finland, number 21, Christian Ruutu, skates himself out of the play. Goslin takes his man out, and the teams are back at full strength. Johnson gets it over, going right in on goal. Johnson, Mark Johnson this time, puts it in the net. Well, he had a second bite of the cherry there, and he made no mistake on it.
Well, as that play came down the ice, it was a nice shovel pass off to Mark Johnson. Lindfors gets a piece of the original shot, but nobody's back to take him out. Mark Johnson has all kinds of time for the second chance. There he is, Mark Johnson in on the goal, pulls a move onto the backhand, overskates it as Lindfors gets a stick on it, very alertly stops, puts a wrist shot in.
Wilander breaks for the line, slams on the brakes to avoid the offside, and Laxola has to go all the way back for it. The pass intended for Wilander, broken up nicely by Neil Broughton. The Americans applying a lot of pressure as Järvinen brings it out. Järvinen dropping it back. Goslin pressing his man out of the play. Järvinen is right in front. He scores! A quick reply from Finland levels the score here in the first period.
That gives the Finnish supporters a boost. The Finn allowed to walk out from the corner with the puck. There's Järvinen all by himself in front. Casey had just come from that near post. Didn't have a good chance on that one. Excellent work. Pass comes out. Järvinen with a quick shot beats Casey coming across.
Ketchmer gets it over. We've got a tied game here. The USA with most of the play in the period, but all you need is a shot to score, and the Finns got it. Right on the target from Stevens. Lindfors watches Stevens along the board. Stevens doesn't know where it is. Kuusisto, his pass is batted down by Ketchmer. The Americans with Otto. Otto getting it right in front. Stevens was there. The Finns being beaten to a lot of these pucks when we're used to seeing them so fast on the plate. Modano had that one tipped away. Reynolds now. Reynolds takes the shot. Lindfors got a piece of that. Kuusisto goes in the corner, ties up his man and brings him to the ice. Well, I think that reaction by Jarmo Kuusisto probably says it all.
It was a great dive by Rob Reynolds here. The two men go into the boards together. Kuusisto's just pushing him into the boards. Nothing serious here. The puck squirts away. Watch Reynolds, he really lets himself fly here. Great act from Rob Reynolds. Casisto looks at the ref as if to say, you must be joking.
Casisto will set it out for 2 minutes. 1-1 the score with 8:38 gone in the first period. Right on the target. Lindfor is looking strong, looking solid on these shots, not giving up the rebounds. You really couldn't fault him for that goal. He got the stick in there, but Mark Johnson came back to put it into the open net. Power play, Casisto in there for holding. Modano gets it back. Broughton to Modano. Modano to the far side, the little tip coming from Norton was wide of the target. Double teaming behind the net. USA unable to come up with it. Now they get it back. Norton wants Broughton. Johnson lets it go between his skates, and that goes out into the neutral zone.
The Finns are forcing the play in their own zone. They're really going for that puck.
Modano is all alone on the far side of the net. No one really saw him there. He's still alone, crying out for that puck, and it just didn't come. The Americans changing on the fly, trying to get fresh legs on there as they work it up on the right side. Kip Miller tipped that forward. O'Regan, Neil Broughton. Broughton hasn't got a lot of options there, so he flips it into the corner. Back to Broughton. Takes the slap shot right on the target. The rebound is there. Stevens couldn't get the shot away.
Laxola had a good grip on Stevens' stick, and Kevin Stevens was unable to come up with that rebound.
Coming up to 30 seconds on the penalty. Stevens getting it over. A good spell for USA against Finland. Casey pushes that one forward. And the Americans now back on the attack. Some good back-checking there by Järvinen. Brown into the corner with 10 seconds on the penalty. Brown with Johnson on defense. That's James Johnson. The Americans slowly over that blue line, flip it into the corner. Stevens. Johnson takes the shot. Lindfors hangs on and calls for a face-off.
Both teams are really moving that puck down the ice quickly when they break out of their zone.
The 24-year-old star for Helsinki.
On the blade.
Looks so calm, so cool between the pipes.
He just didn't see it. He didn't see it.
You can hear the Americans discussing that last one that was in front of the net. Just didn't see it, they say. Danton Cole right in front there. Ketchmer calling for it, trying to get the shot away is Ranheim. Cole picks it up, takes it right to the blue line. Trickles out front, and still the Americans unable to get the shot away in front of the net.
The Finnish defensemen are doing an excellent job of tying up the forwards in front of the net.
Kuusisto, who's back out there, gets hammered to the ice, gives it to Laxola. All the way up on the wing, Mikolainen. The Finns flip it deep into USA territory. Ketchmer goes back for it. To the far side, the Americans breaking with 3 men forward. Ranheim now. Ranheim takes a shot. That comes right back to the side of the net. Reynolds was quick to react to get that one to the net, but it just didn't come off. Now the Finns take the shot. Casey makes the save. Yellow gets it in front. Suominen was there, and got the tip wide. Norton shadows his man right to the side of the net as Norton still hangs on to the attacker. Casey eventually smothers it for the face-off.
It's tough going in front of that goal. Both teams are really smothering the forwards as they're trying to get rebounds, tip-ins. Excellent defensive work from both sides here. That's a great save from Casey.
Yellow will take the face-off for Finland. Too many players in the circle, so they wave it off and start again. Reynolds for USA into the center ice zone. Johnson pushes that one behind to Reynolds. Going after it is Neil Broughton. Lime takes him out of the play, and it comes back to center ice, and the Americans spin and do it again. Oh, Reynolds was dumped off the play. The indication is hooking. Reynolds was breaking quickly for that net.
There you see Reynolds on the right side. Raimo Suominen just trying to cover his man, doing a good job of back checking. Reynolds had a step on him though, and the pass was on its way. If you've got to take a hook, that's probably the place to take it.
So USA with a power play situation here.
It's good skating and aggressive forechecking that creates penalties like that. Reynolds skating hard away from the play. Suominen was put in a situation where he had to put the hook on him.
Otto in the face-off circle to Norton. Flipped in by Modano, but not hard enough. And the Americans will have to go deep in their own zone with Norton picking it up. Coming up to the 13-minute mark. Some nice little moves there by Modano. They have to wait for their teammates to get over that blue line. Offside. But eventually the offside whistle blows anyway. Massive Otto goes into the face-off circle, wins the draw, getting it deep to Norton. He really is big, that guy. What with him and Modano out there, they must tower over these fins. Getting it right across to Norton. The Americans with this power play situation. All the way back. You got Modano here. Otto tries to bring it right in on goal. Otto going after it. Luukkonen, some good defensive work from him. Norton now pushing that one right across. That goes off a skate, and Neil Broughton hangs onto it. Johnson, Mark Johnson, moving it in slowly. Right beside the net is Otto. Modano gets a stick to that one, but he can't keep it in. Norton brings his man down off the play. Well, an unnecessary move from him. He's not happy with that call, but he's going to go to the penalty box.
Another situation of a play that would have been let go in the NHL is a penalty in international hockey. To me, that was a penalty. It didn't look like a very drastic hook, but if nothing else, it is interference. The man is on his way to the puck. I realize he can be taken out. The referee's way behind that play, though. He's not in the proper position to make the right call.
Norton goes in for two. Hooking is the call. Johnson. So just 30 seconds now remaining on the Finnish penalty. Kuusisto, Jarmo Kuusisto for Finland, dropping it off. The Finns building it up, working it out. Over the red line. Yellow trying to split the defense. Runs into a brick wall with Johnson out there. Dahlqvist misses his check. Kuusisto can't hang on to it, but eventually he bats it in. Some good work by Kuusisto way back at the blue line, and now he's got it again. looking for Ruutu Kuusisto. An excellent effort by them. Dahlqvist killing this one off for USA. Passing it back and forth, and eventually he drives that one all the way down the ice. The Finns are back at full strength. They got the man advantage. Reynolds pushes his man out of the play. That was Ruutunen. But the Finns trying to bring it in. Getting around one man is number 26, Keskinen. The Americans, oh, a nice little pass there up to Reynolds from Brown. All the way down to Finnish territory. 1-1 the score here in the first period. My lord, what happened there? That went off a stick.
A bit nonchalant there. The defenseman lost it. Good thing Lindfors was on his toes, or that would have been a goal in the wrong net for the Finns.
Laxola. Keskinen. Back to the blue line. Keskinen picks it up in the corner. Still, it's Finland with this man advantage. Keskinen took the shot from a sharp angle. Casey made the save. Another one goes into the corner, and the Americans flip that down. Changing on the fly. Now USA are back to full strength. Both teams doing a fine job of killing off this, or those penalties out there. Kip Miller. Miller on the backhand side. Kip Miller tries to put it through the skates, hangs onto it. Right in front, Johnson takes the shot. The rebound again, the puck is lying there. Well, that puck was loose. The official is behind the net. He couldn't really see where it was, but it was still lying beside the goal.
That's a loose puck. The play should still be going on. Mind you, I don't know how the Americans didn't get a goal out of this. Kip Miller with some brilliant moves, a very heads-up pass. Jim Johnson was all alone in the low slot. Couldn't put it in. Ranheim was hacking and whacking on it as he was laying on the ice, and he nearly had a goal. There's the puck. The whistle blows.
Well, the official does blow the whistle when he loses sight of the puck, and that's what happened there. Again, you see Ranheim. Johnson goes in, takes a swipe, and it's still loose. Then the whistle blows.
Not a good call there, but oh well, that happens. The referee was not in the right spot. Kip Miller with some great work there. College Player of the Year.
Stevens trying to go for Modano's rebound. Lindfors holding ground there. Getting a bit physical right on Lindfors' doorstep.
Right off the face-off, good work. Modano gets a shot off. Stevens, the guy I mentioned, he's done well throughout this tournament. Really works hard. He's going for that rebound in a big way. He'll take the goalie, the defenseman, anybody he's got to have to try and get it.
So some good work from the Americans, but back come the Finns in yellow. Yellow working right in, trying to get it over to the far side. Well, maybe the shot should have been there first. Otto dropping that one off for Modano. They've got to set it up again to avoid the offside with Ketchmer. Dahlqvist. Well, if Dahlqvist goes, you can be sure that someone else goes with him. Suminen now tries to drop it back. Casey bats it away. USA changing on the fly, slowing down the pace. Not a good pass from this defenseman over here. Pushed in now. Suminen. The shot right on Casey. Neil Broughton picks it up and takes it behind the net. Now he brings it out. The blue line. Headmanning the puck to Mark Johnson. Offside is a call.
Both teams getting quicker changes as this period progresses. It's been fast. It's been end-to-end. They've got to keep fresh people out there on the ice.
.41 gone. It's all even here. 1 goal apiece. Finland against USA. Johnson into center to Broughton. Ranheim goes after it. Laxola will pick it up for Finland. off the boards as far as the blue line, and a good job there by Neil Broughton. Broughton working in on the backhand side, right out front. Lindfors got the touch and gave it to Verlander. Verlander coming out now. Oh, a nice little move by him. Some good defensive work there from USA. Dahlqvist tying his man up. Ranheim takes a shot as he can't get it out. A weak shot there, deflected into the far corner. Keskinen taken out of the play. Casey comes way out to the side to make the good save. The Americans now having some problems. Helped a little there by Keskinen as he took it out over the line. Less than 1.5 minutes to go here in the period. It really has been good end-to-end stuff. Both teams having their chances.
The Finns putting on a little burst of energy there, doing a good job of keeping the Americans in their own zone. The shots that Casey has had to handle lately, though, he's come out well, taking the angle away from the player and not giving much net.
Backhanded in by Mikulainen. Norton over to Brown. Shot in rather by O'Regan. Danton Cole misses that. Norton keeps it in. Eventually it squeezes out over the blue line. Norton will go back for it. 1 minute to go in the period. The Americans now looking for a quick one to go into the dressing room. Järvenpää got that one up, pushed along by Henriksen. Flipped into the zone. Casey comes way out of his net. Dumped back into the corner. Järvenpää with 28 seconds now. The Finns applying the pressure. Mikulainen giving that one off. Norton goes after his man, Turkinen. The shot right on. Järvenpää couldn't get the rebound, but he chases after it. Still not out of the zone, right on the goal, and Casey again hangs on to it with 10 seconds remaining. I'm sure he got some advice there from his defenseman. Let it go. Just a few seconds remaining on the clock. 2 seconds. There goes the buzzer to end the first period. 1-1 the score. It really has been fast and furious. We're going to take a short break. Join us in a few moments for the start of the second period. We'll be right back. Back to Bern, Switzerland, and the World Ice Hockey Championships. USA against Finland, it's all tied, 1 goal apiece. It really has been a great first period. The Finns are playing now from left to right. The Americans with the majority of the play out there in the first period really did miss some ideal chances, didn't they, Richard?
They missed a few good opportunities, but coming up to the close of that period, the Finns were really forechecking hard. They had the better of the play in the last few minutes.
Laxola for Finland, the defenseman, dropping that one back, picked off by Neil Broughton, headmanning it nicely, and the Americans break up. Ranheim scooting up the wing. Lipa blows the whistle.
You're gone, buddy.
Well, both penalty boxes were open there. Took a long time to come. There's a good shot of Dahlqvist.
Coincidental minors away from the play. Little skirmish between the two players. They'll sit 2 minutes each, no big deal. Dahlqvist has certainly had some work on that nose.
Laxola slowly made his way to the box. So both teams will be a man short here at the start of the second period. As I said, 1 goal apiece, breaking now. Ruutu dropping it back, but Brown gets to it first. Brown bounces that off the boards, tries to go after it himself. Eventually has to bang it away from Suominen. Suominen comes up with it right on the red line. Pushing it forward. The Finns having problems mounting an attack here in the early stages. Modano to Norton. Flipped all the way in. Both teams changing on the fly here in the second period. The Finns now bringing it down, bringing it deep, dropping it back to Christian Ruutu. Ruutu is having a lot of problems hanging on to that puck. Norton. 1 minute remaining on the penalties now. Norton skates right by it, pushed behind the net. Henriksen for Finland. Gets it up to center ice. Gosselin went over a man. That shot going high. Henriksen getting a piece of it as Gosselin kind of took himself right out of the play. Stevens with Miller. Miller tried to get a shot away. Stevens went over the blue line the other way, looking for the pass, and Johnson goes all the way back for it.
Miller with a good opportunity there. A good job of back checking by the Finns. They got back, tied him up before he got a shot off.
James Johnson to Gosselin. Gosselin tipping that one forward. Stevens now. Stevens so big, so strong on that puck. Still hanging on to it, being shadowed there by Ruutu. All the way back to Brown. Brown. A slow pass into the corner. Eventually gets picked up by Järvenpää, and both teams again change on the fly. Fritsch goes after his man and levels him along the boards as Ketchmer picks it up. The Americans looking so much stronger than they did when they first started this tournament. It took them a while to get going. Sacco muscling around behind the net. O'Regan wants it, gets it, and then loses out. Ketchmer keeps it in to O'Regan. He can't hang on to it, goes up against Laxola. O'Regan pins that against the boards and then kicks it back as Fritsch goes in and lends a bit of help. Some good stuff from Sacco as he brings Ruutu down. Keskinen for Finland. Keskinen fakes the shot. One too many moves from him, gets it behind the net. Keskinen picks it up, tries to work himself out, taken out by Ketchmer and brought to the ice. Wilander back checking right inside the red line, and the Finns now breaking forward. Wilander breaks in, Luma picks it up. Luma dumps it into the corner. Christian Ruutu now gets it right in front. The save is there. Casey got the save. Wilander was buzzing around the net. Järvinen was there too. Number 14.
Good action here as Wilander cruises right into that low slot, gets the shot away. Casey gets a pad on it. Järvinen was right there for another rebound. Casey did well to hang on.
.407 gone in the second period. 1-1 the score. Broughton pushes that one back as Dahlqvist finds himself back on the ice. Up to the top of the circle to Neil Broughton. Johnson back to Broughton. Broughton works it in. The backhand shot coming from Ranheim misses the far corner. Mark Johnson bangs that off the woodwork, and Neil Broughton picks it up in the corner. Some good stuff coming from the Americans here. Christian Ruutu wants it along the boards. Numa couldn't hang on to it, tries to give it back, and Broughton steals it, working in with Ranheim, dropping it back. Johnson gave it to Broughton, possibly should have taken the shot. The Finns now breaking with 3 forward, 2 Americans back. Dahlqvist will pick this one up, an easy one for him as he comes up against Ruutu and changes directions. A long pass, 2-line pass offside, and we'll have a face-off where that one originated from.
Both teams playing each other very well. They're coming back. They're covering their wings, making it very difficult for great scoring chances, but both teams are skating very well at this point.
Keep it in. Color flag.
29-year-old Otto from Calgary getting set for this face-off. Gusisto fires that one forward. Backhanded in by number 11, Jovempa. Turkinen goes after his man, and the Americans now bring it out. Modano takes a shot wide of the net. Otto trying to get it back. Fanned on the pass, and the Finns breaking now with Mikolainen on the wing. Stevens getting the pass now at center. He did a great job of back-checking. Some good two-way stuff as Turkinen goes in to squeeze it away. Back to the point to Norton. Norton going all the way around, looking for Otto. Otto eventually gets it right in front. The shot comes from Modano. And Lindfors lost it completely. Didn't have a clue where that was.
That puck just hit his pads. He didn't even see it. Didn't have a clue where the rebound was.
Offside.
The offside whistle goes to take the pressure off Finland. The action all around the Finnish net here. Otto setting up Ranheim. Stevens doing some good job screening in front. Modano is there all around. You can see Lindfors, he's trying to find out where the puck is, trying to keep his head down. Now the shot right on the target. Järvinen giving that to Keskinen. Going in on the backhand side, the shot kicked away by Casey. Tip to the far side, the Americans with a dangerous play bringing that out. James Johnson pushes that behind the net. Reynolds can't get the handle on that one. Keskinen flipping that forward. The return pass. Waiting for some support up there as the teams change on the fly. Suominen got it back. Ruchinen going right in, taking the shot. More of a pass in front of the net, but there was no one there to pick it up. Reynolds now with Kip Miller. Miller going in. Miller. Lindfors goes down. It's in there. Well, the whistle had blown. Reynolds put it in the net. And again, the official indicating he blew the whistle. He lost sight of the puck. Lindfors had it for a moment, and then it squirted out from underneath him. Watch this again.
There you see Miller is right in there. It squeaks underneath Lindfors, and it's still open game. You can't see the puck here. Now you can see it. The whistle had sounded at that point, though. Right when Reynolds went to shoot the puck in, you had already heard the whistle. Miller on the opportunity here. Lindfors thinks he has it. It squirts underneath him. There's where the referees lost sight of the puck. That's when they blew it. The puck squirts out. Reynolds is waiting right there, but he's a little bit too late. The referee has to stick with his decision on that, as that whistle had sounded.
Well, I think it was a good decision looking back at it. You can see pointing to the whistle. Jiri Lipa, no hesitation at all. If he loses sight of it, he's got to go with that whistle. Sacco along the boards. Cole chases into the corner. Takes a bit of a shot. Drops his man to the ice. Sacco comes in to help out. Heikki Lima falls to the ice as the Finns get it out and look for the quick break. Luma trying to get into Christian Ruutu. Sacco comes back to the rescue. Is taken out of the play, but not before he gets it down to the blue line. The Finns, Christian Ruutu. Cheeky little pass between the skates, but Brown saw that coming.
Ruutu was on his own there. A good move, but didn't have anybody up there with him.
O'Regan ran into Lima and floored him right inside the zone. Some good stuff here as Ruutu working his way up and down the ice. Hasn't stopped skating for since the opening face-off in the first period. The Finns with the long shot on Casey. He flips that one to Norton. Norton pushes it along, and the Americans breaking now with Mark Johnson. Johnson gonna do it on his own, takes the shot. Tipped off the glove of Lindfors to the far side of the net.
Good action end to end. Twice on that last shift, you could see what the Finns were trying to do, trying to headman that puck to Ruutu. He's got the wheels, and they'd like to get a breakaway situation with him out there.
Still 1 goal apiece here in the second period. The Americans shooting it all the way in. Kuusisto going back for it. The Finns with Turkinen. Broughton trying to get it over the line. He does. Working it in. That's pushed all the way down the ice. This is going to be an icing call, and we're going to take a break. Join us in a moment for the rest of the period. Welcome back to Bern, Switzerland, and the World Ice Hockey Championships. Finland against the USA, 1 goal apiece. You can't get much closer than this one, can you?
This is a good one. The fans are enjoying it. A lot of them are taking this one quite serious, as they know it's basically for the 5th spot going into that second round of play.
We know that the Soviets, Czechs, Swedes, and Canadians will be fighting it out for gold, silver, and bronze. But it's now down to USA, Finland, West Germany, and Norway to see who will be relegated to Pool B next year. The Swiss have already won that tournament. They'll be coming up.
This has been a very good contest so far, very clean and very close. Both teams playing similar styles of hockey out here.
The Finns now working it down the ice with Järvinen. Järvinen going in, trying to wrap that one around, gets it right in front. The puck is loose there. Ketchmer came up with it and dumps it on the wing. That one will go all the way down. No icing on the plate. And the Finns now start it up. Flip it into the neutral zone with Keskinen. Asa Keskinen dropping it back. Ends up on the far side. The Americans now happy with Modano, getting it forward to Stevens.
Good quick passes there. Stevens just barely ahead of that play. Nice pass from Modano. His left foot is just over that blue line ahead of that puck. That is a good call by the linesman. Right on the spot. Otto and Modano with a couple of quick passes there really fed Stevens nicely.
Otto forechecking. Modano goes in after his man. The Finns break out now. 3 men coming forward. 5 men now. They really do break as a unit. Suominen taken out of the play. Dahlqvist. Now Johnson is squeezed out. Modano gives it to Otto. Otto breaking hard. Stevens slams on the brakes. Modano gets the shot, goes into the far corner. Stevens wraps it around to the far side. Modano going after it and hammers his man along the boards. Laxola took a heavy hit there. That hit a skate and came out into the neutral zone. Some big boys on that line with Otto, Modano, and Stevens. Flipped all the way up to Tristan Ruutu. He loses it. He was taken out on the play. Yellow now. Yellow for Finland. Pushing that one forward. Norton grabs it out of the air. Pouches it and puts it down on the ice, and the whistle blows.
There's a good look at Modano as he really takes the defenseman into the boards here. That's a very clean hit. Backs into him, just takes a body, and the puck is in front of him for Joel Otto. Otto and Modano, both long and lanky. They play very well together. Of course, they play against each other during the regular NHL season.
1 goal apiece, 10:53 gone in the period. Kip Miller wrestling there with Turkinen. Turkinen wins that battle and flips it behind the net. Casey leaves it for Norton. Fritsch shooting that one forward as Reynolds goes after it. Linford way out of his net. All the way back to Brown. Brown takes the shot. It's lying there right in the slot. Miller couldn't get the shot away. Norton goes back for that one. Gets the return pass from Brown and gives it to Miller. Miller taken out right at center. Guodi, who hasn't seen a lot of ice out there, gets himself involved in the play. Kip Miller, this kid has got a lot of moves. The Americans taking the shot there. That took a deflection. Trying to get the change on the play. Coming off is Reynolds, who got some wood on that shot. It was eventually deflected high up. Sacco there with Johnson. Sacco gets the pass too hard for him. Kept in the zone. Now the Americans bring it out. Danton Cole. Goslin wants it on the far side, but the pass doesn't come. Now he gets it. Goslin flipping it forward to Sacco. Cole gets it right in front. Picked off by Keskinen. Keskinen fakes the shot. Tries to get it right across. He does, but there was no one there to pick it up. The Americans now. 2 men forward, 2 men back. Cole, a nice little back pass. Difficult one for O'Regan to hang on to. Sacco misses his check, and the Finns now bring it back. Finland over the red line, passing it off to the far side. Both teams changing on the fly. You can see how hard they skate to that bench after they're doing their 45-second or whatever shifts out there. Ketchmer dumps it in to Broughton. Suominen got there, and they have to start out again. The icing call is waved off. Dahlqvist gets it around to the far side. Ketchmer back to Dahlqvist. Long pass up the middle. That one goes all the way down the ice, but it took a tip, so they wave off the icing call. Some good understanding on the bench there as to who's going to go out and who's going to come off. Yellow dropping it back to shot. Wide of the target. Suominen getting a piece of that. It ends up on the mesh, and the face-off should be in the neutral zone.
And it is. You can see the referee pointing outside the blue line. Casey had his arm in the air for 3 or 4 seconds before the whistle actually went off. He knew where the puck was. If the puck is put on the back of that net and a whistle occurs because the puck stays there, if it was directed onto the net by the attacking team, the face-off comes outside the blue line.
Norton with Otto. Stevens breaking right in, drops it back. Yellow, the long pass up. Norton gets to it now and bats it back. Modano trying to bring it out on his own. A dangerous little move from him. Stevens with Otto. Right in front of that, the shot. Modano missed the target. Luma for Finland. Luma trying to get around Brown. Brown got the better of him. Otto dumps it back in. Dahlqvist pressing his man against the woodwork, and eventually the face-off whistle blows. 14:45 gone here in the second period. 1-1 the score.
Both teams really changing quickly now. It's been good action. If you're watching this play closely, you can see the wingers are really covering their men well. Hooking them up, holding them at the blue line. This is good stuff. Neither team wants to give an inch.
Reynolds losing out right on the blue line, picked it up again. Kip Miller misses his man. Turkinen got it forward. The shot right on the goal coming from Järvenpää. And the Americans get away. Kip Miller now breaking down the left wing. Miller being shadowed by Järvenpää. Miller spun right around. That gets right back to Dahlqvist. Dahlqvist takes the shot. That whistles to the far side and starting to get rough in front of the net. Vuori pushing that one in. Dahlqvist goes back, but Reynolds will get to it first. Reynolds flips that one up into the neutral zone. Fritsch got a piece of it. Kip Miller. Miller takes a swing at Kuusisto. And again, Kuusisto puts on the theatrics.
Well, the last time Kuusisto got a penalty, he had one glove off, he dropped the other glove. This time he drops his stick. Miller gave him a couple of good shots. Kuusisto feels he didn't retaliate. The referee doesn't see it that way. He's going to give them both two.
This youngster's got a great future in front of him. Kip Miller, I'm referring to there. Got a lot of moves, a great shot, and not afraid to mix it up in the corners.
A good college hockey player from Michigan State. The Hobie Baker College Player of the Year winner. And he's a draft choice of the Quebec Nordiques. Quebec, of course, need goal scoring. He could be wearing one of their uniforms next year. Well, Kuusisto's theatrics, as you mentioned before, have gotten him more than he bargained for. He not only gets a holding penalty, he's been hit with a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That hurts the Finns, and that's very unnecessary. Kuusisto knows better than that.
2+2 for the Finns, 2 for the Americans. Norton. So the first 2 minutes they'll be level, and then USA will have the man advantage. Keskinen along the wing there for Järvenpää, right in front of Casey. Nobody seemed to want it. The Finns say, we'll grab it. The backhand shot there comes off of a stick. Laxola was moving in quickly. Play seemed to slow down almost to a grinding halt.
Well, the American defense went for a sandwich there for a minute. Puck was in front of Casey. They just kind of laid there. Nobody really wanted it.
A lot of Finnish support in this rink. Both teams with a man in the penalty box. O'Regan will square off with Keskinen. You can see the finger pointing to Keskinen where he's supposed to be from the official. He didn't go there, but he dropped the puck anyway. Laxola took himself out of the play, and the Finns bring it back into their own zone. Rotanen. 16.5 minutes gone. The break now coming in. O'Regan taking the backhand shot, weak and wild. Sacco moves in. It's kept in along the boards by Johnson. Johnson looking for O'Regan. That pass didn't come off, and the Finns try to bring it out with Laxola. He overskates it. Sacco picks it up in the corner. Sacco getting around Rotanen, trying to get the wrap around the backhand shot. Gets it as far as the defense. That one is wide. Dahlqvist moves in and takes over in the corner. Stevens steps on the ice to help him out. Rotanen fires that one along the boards, and that goes down the ice. 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes now to go in the period. Icing is the call.
Icing.
Both teams getting fresh players out there. It's warm out there, and they're both skating hard. It's not going to be long before the Americans will be on that 2-minute power play advantage situation here. There's that chance for Tom O'Regan. He really did play this one nonchalantly. Laid sort of a lazy backhander well wide of the net.
Cole for USA. Losing out at center to Christian Ruutu. The Finns breaking up along the right wing. Suominen couldn't contain that. Brown got it over to the far side. Cole picks it up now. 13 seconds remaining on the USA penalty. Under 2.5 on the period. Ruutu takes the shot. That went off a stick. Way up into the screen above the plexi. So we'll have a face-off.
As this period draws near a close, the play really has calmed right down.
Well, it has been going at one heck of a pace right from the opening face-off. USA were all over the Finns, and I think it's safe to say that the Finns were lucky to come off with a 1-1 scoreline at the end of the period. Shadowing there is Otto. All the way down the ice goes Norton. This guy never seems to step off the ice. There's the score here in the second period. Mark Johnson. Johnson over the far side. Slows it down. Well, I was about to say slows it down just enough to remain onside, but the offside whistle blows. So we'll have a face-off just outside the Finnish blue line. Well, I'm not too sure about that one. Player on the right, just ahead of the puck, perhaps. So the whistle blew. Less than 2 minutes now. The Americans with a man advantage, working it up with Modano. Johnson will go after this one. Johnson picks it up, squeezed out of the play. Yellow spins, gets it all the way down the ice.
Once again, the Americans throwing the puck around the boards. The Finns doing a good job of getting right to it and forcing the play.
1:03 remaining on the penalty as we approach the final minute of the period. Misunderstanding there. Broughton couldn't get to it. He was stopped right on the blue line. Casey bats it forward for Norton. Norton dumps it all the way into the zone. Stevens gets it back to the hash marks. Norton tries to get that out front. Stevens can't get the shot away. 1 minute remaining. Johnson takes a shot. Lindfors comes out, makes a save. It's still there in the slot area. And Broughton couldn't get a handle on it. Modano sidesteps the check and gets it right into the slot area. But that trickles into USA territory. Some bad bounces coming out there on the ice as Johnson now skates over the blue line. Johnson, O'Regan moves into position right in front of the net. Stevens misses that one and the Finns bring it out. 27 seconds with Keskinen taken out of the play. 4 seconds on the penalty to Finland. Well, now the Finns are back at full strength. Just a couple of seconds remaining on the period. Casey whistles that one all the way around to the far side. Christian Ruutu gets to it first. That's right in front, but the Americans are there. With just 4 seconds to go, Casey decides to call for the face-off and settle things down.
Sloppy play late in the period here. The Americans a bit guilty of not hustling for that puck. The Finns seemed hungry to have it there. Casey had gone out of the goal and done it on his own, thrown it around the net. Ruutu, though, just directed it back toward the goal. Late in the period, you don't want to give up a goal like that. The Americans in a couple games so far in this tournament have been guilty of faltering just for a few minutes late in the period and giving away stupid goals.
An all-important face-off for both sides. The Americans move right in. They want to win this one, and the Finns looking to get that one shot away.
Well, with 4 seconds, you just want to get one chance. You see 3 men going to be moving to that net. One guy for the shot. It doesn't come off.
Otto against Keskinen. Keskinen wins it, or Otto wins it rather, and dumps it back. There's the score line at the end of the second period. Join us in a moment for the third period. We'll be right back.
Liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer.
Welcome back to the World Ice Hockey Championships on Eurosport. The third period is underway. The Americans playing from left to right. 1-1 the score. A great finish in store. Ranheim with Broughton. Tipped out, brought in. Offside is the call.
We expected this one to be close. It has been. Both teams have played just about equal hockey. There's been spurts where the Americans have had the better of the opportunities. Then there's been spurts during the game where the Finns have really forechecked hard. It looked like they wanted to win. 1-1 with 20 minutes left. It's anybody's game.
Well, both 14s for each team scored the goals. Johnson, who's right there, and Järvinen, who's also there. Ranheim, Paul Ranheim gets that one off a skate. Järvinen taken out of the play, held along by Ranheim, goes right to Lindfors. He gives that one off, the pass up the middle, no one there to collect. Icing will be the call. Quick change for both teams. They know in this period they can't relax. They can't give anything away. Still anyone's game as we take a look at John Blue, the backup goalie, 24 years old. Played well at the start of the tournament, along with William Pye. But Casey has taken over. The Minnesota Star, Modano takes the shot over the net. Luma goes after it. Ranheim, or Otto rather, squeezes him out. Yellow tries to come up with it. And again, Lindfors comes way out on Stevens. Suminen takes a check as he pushes it out to Yellow. He can't contain it. A lot of grabbing on the puck. That one goes right through Otto's skates. And the Finns now break down hard. Suminen with Christian Ruutu. Suminen getting it back to Ruutu. Ruutu takes the shot. Batted away into the corner. Flipped up the center. Stevens brings it forward with the glove hand. Yellow stays right on him. Heikki Lime takes him out of the play. Ruutu watches that one flip into the crowd. We'll have a line change and a face-off.
Ruutu never seems to tire out there. He plays long shifts, goes up and down the ice very well. The Finns happy to get that whistle. They want a complete line change.
Good shot there at the two of the several cameras that are covering this World Championship tournament. Johnson, the shot. Lindfors gets the glove on it. Miller mixes it up. Henriksen doesn't want to get involved. The face-off to the left of Lindfors as he looks down the ice. That's kicked back to Johnson. Another shot. Goes wide of the net. Kip Miller. Miller spun around. Taken out of the play. Going down now is Vuori. Vuori against Johnson. Flips that one to the far side. Fritsch goes after it with Brown. Ends up underneath the Finnish player. Kuusisto let it go. And the Finns now at center. There's going to be a penalty on the play. Lipa pointing to Miller again.
Miller's had a rough shift out there. Banging in the corners, pretty good with the defense. He had a little struggle in front of the goal a minute ago. Quite possibly he felt he owed somebody one here. It's a tie game, not the right time to do it though. That's right in front of the referee, and it's away from the play. The ref couldn't miss that one. High sticking. Well, that's a pretty cocky little smile there. I like that. Miller saying, nah, I didn't do that.
2 minutes penalty for USA's number 9, Ken Miller for high sticking. Time 42.
So Miller will sit it out for 2 minutes. Brown. Cole chasing his man there along the board. Still Cole giving him a hard time. And the Finns trying to set this one up. Some good stuff there by Järvinen. And Sacco brought himself back into the play. A nice little move to get around the defenseman, or the forward rather, as he ended up playing defense. Cole couldn't hang on to that, and the Finns now bring it over. Offside is the call, as you can see, the player on the right jumping the gun over the blue line.
There's that action that happened in front of the goal a while ago. This is not the penalty call, but it's Miller that's dumped. The defenseman's on him. Miller gives him a little shot here. Academy performance as a Finnish defenseman. Kosisto goes back. No call on that one, but they get what they wanted later. Miller does go to the penalty box eventually.
Well, I think Kosisto feels if you can't win a medal, why not try for an Oscar? Laxola dropping that one back. 110 on the penalty. The Americans lining up across the blue line. Reynolds shooting that one down. Playing some good defensive hockey. The Finns now bringing it out. Rotinen spins and brings it forward. Less than a minute remaining on the penalty. Still Rotinen as he grabs his man when he lost his stick. And Reynolds will race after this one against Laxola. Laxola, an intelligent play by him as he dumps it back off the boards, and the Finns with Yellow. Risto Yellow bringing it up. Ruutu against Brown to Yellow. Sacco can't get a handle on that guy, and Kosisto gets it over the shot. Wide of the target as Sacco kicks it along the boards. And the Americans again flip it all the way down the ice with just 12 seconds remaining on the penalty to Miller. Some good penetration by the Finns, with some excellent defense coming at times from the Americans. Miller steps on the ice, they're back at full strength. Kosisto dodges a check there from Miller. He really is going after him, going right in on goal. Broughton should have put that one away.
That's the second breakaway we've seen in this game that's been played very nonchalantly. Neil Broughton normally would put those away.
Miller feeds that one off. Broughton again working this time on the backhand side. Leaving it back to Ketchmer. The shot right there. Lindfors make the save, and Lund comes up with it for Finland. The long pass will go all the way down the ice. Well, a lot of Finnish support, as we've seen over the tournament. Miller really had his eyes on Kosisto. Here's the break again.
Nice pass from Norton to feed that one up. Broughton thought he had his corner pick, but snapped it just wide.
Face off in the neutral zone. The Americans have had their chances. They scored first with Johnson. Järvinen replied for Finland, and that's how it stayed. One apiece. Henriksen scoots that one as far as Broughton. He gets it back to the point, and it's flipped back in again. Ranheim. Mark Johnson skated out of the play, and the Finns now with 3 players going forward. Some good stuff along the boards. Norton really getting physical. Ranheim now for USA. Ranheim working it in. Poke checked on the play by number 23, Henriksen. Brought to the ice, no penalty. The official keeps his arms down and play continues. Up on the wing, offside will be the call. Järvinen was right there with the play.
Offside.
The pass just a little behind him.
There's that hit earlier. Järvenpää went up and over the top, lost his helmet. A pretty smooth landing though.
Still in the third period here. Coming up to the 6-minute mark. 1-1 the score. Brown will go back for it. Goslin at the far side. The wingers start to make their move with Stevens there and Modano. Otto missed his check. Modano will go after this one and Brown will pick it up. Wilander tried to bring down Brown, but he got the puck into the neutral zone. Otto. The Finns now picking that one up inside their own zone and bringing it forward. 2 men up. A shot right on the target coming from number 26, Esa Keskinen. Good save by Casey as Laxola got it over the far side. Järvinen trying to split the defense. Norton was there, as he always is. Still, it's Finland keeping it in the zone and eventually goes off a stick to Laxola at center ice. Offside is the call as Wilander worked his way over just ahead of the puck.
Jukka Wilander had a long shift that time. Playing very well out there. One scoring opportunity of his own, and then he tried to set up a couple of plays. He's a good worker for this Finnish team.
Getting that back to Ketchmer. Critch to Ketchmer again. Two-line pass.
Red line offside.
Play has slowed down considerably here in the third period with the teams at 1 goal apiece. And you can see there on the back of the helmet, if this guy will turn around just a bit more, 1991 will be the home, well, Finland in 1991 will be the home of the World Championships. So they're letting everyone know by advertising on the back of their helmets. Oh, a bit of a giveaway there by Heikki Laimi. Suminen now trying to pick it up. It really has gone into a stall here. Casey comes way out of his net. Bats it round to the hash marks. Suminer's there to pick it up. The Americans trying to get something going. The delayed offside waved off as Laimi flips that forward. Yellow with Christian Ruutu. The shot. Ruutu almost got it off the backboards. He had the far side. Ruutu again. And now it's Finland putting on the pressure. Back to Lum. Being shadowed there by Dahlqvist. Johnson goes after his man, and that pass intended for the defense, Luma, is shot out. Offside, way offside by Finland, as they're slow to come out of that zone.
Offside.
Good action from the Finn forwards there. Yalo and Ruutu doing some excellent forechecking, keeping the Americans penned in their own end.
Well, the Finns are looking happy, they're looking relaxed and confident. Pentti Matikainen telling them what they should do, where they should be. Turkinen backhands that in. Ketchmer had problems with that one along the boards. Cole Ketchmer pushing that one right in the middle to Sacco. Sacco is dumped on the plate, and Sacco eventually goes after it again. Some good work by Henriksen for the Finnish defense. Norton touches it. Casey indicates that it's icing, and the whistle blows. Well, who knows? Maybe the whistle does blow. But right now, the teams are changing again. Keskinen goes back to Lindfors, gives him a little tap. Says, come on, keep us in this one. This is an important face-off. Broughton, who missed a golden opportunity earlier on, will go against Keskinen. The Finns win the draw and bring it out. Both teams really need a shot in the arm to get this period going. It started really fast, really physical. And now it seems to have slowed down considerably. Working up now, Renheim. Renheim works in. Renheim scores! Well, they must be listening to the commentary here. Renheim has put the Americans into the lead. Broughton did a lot of work there too. But it's number 20, or rather number 10, who picks up the loose puck and works his way in.
The Americans do a great job of moving the puck out of the zone quickly. Broughton took on the two defensemen. Renheim was there on the right side. Great little move. Avoids the stick of Lindfors, gets a second crack at it, puts it behind the net as he's sliding by the goal. There you see Renheim once again. Lindfors does a good job of getting the stick out, gets a piece of it, but Renheim's concentration and his momentum helped carry him through, and he puts it behind the goal.
2-1 the score here in the third period. And hopefully that's what the game needed to bring it to life. Brown drops his man behind the net and gets the puck forward. Lum headmanning it nicely. Suminen breaking towards the net. Yellow, the shot there, as Yellow was positioned right in front of the net, came from Lum, and the Americans way offside on that play.
Modano looking to really get behind that defense. Pass was a little bit late coming up to him. A great second effort by Renheim there. Good work from the Americans, moving the puck quickly out. So look at Greg Brown back there. Another young kid, college player, always taking the body. Got away with one there as he really put the hook on Ruutu.
USA in the lead now as we approach the midway point in the period. 2-1 the score. Ketchmer flipping that one up. Some good defensive work in the neutral zone by Finland to steal that one away. Fritsch tapping it nicely to Miller, who gets it up on the wing. Fritsch breaking for the goal. The shot goes wide. No one there to pick it up for USA, and the Finns losing control to Ketchmer. All the way back to Casey, who bats it up along the wing, and both teams changing on the fly. Tipped into the zone as the Finns continue to change. Goslin gets it up. You can hear those doors banging underneath the commentary position as they slam them shut after the change. Flipped into the neutral zone. Laxola wants it and gets it. Over to the far side, the Finns now got to get something going. Got to start moving as Wilander loses control. Järvinen going in against Brown. Brown smothers him along the plexi. Wilander is there to help out, but USA with O'Regan comes up with it. A nice little pass up on the wing to Sacco. He fires that one deep into Finnish territory. Rautinen goes back for it and brings it forward. Rautinen along the wing always covered by the Americans. The official blows that one down as we take a look at Tim Taylor. Yelling at his players, scratching the old hair there.
Get off out there for a two-seater iceman.
You should know it's nerve-wracking to be a coach, Paul. You have no control over what's going on out on that ice. You can think what you want, you can know what you want, you can know what you know, but you still can't control the play.
Well, when they're out there, they're on their own. Yellow will do the honors against Broughton. Dahlquist ties his man up, but he kicks it back to the point. The shot comes in. Steered away nicely by Casey. Yellow tried to flip it back. The shot now for Ruotsinen. And the rebound comes out, and Ranheim works it down the left wing. Ranheim has got Johnson. Ranheim right in front. The save there by Lindfors. A good one from him. He robbed Ranheim, who worked himself right from the corner in the front of the net.
Paul Ranheim is having a good game out there tonight. He's skating all over the ice.
Dahlquist takes Suominen out of the play, and the Americans push it forward. Modano wanted that pass. He still wants it. Loom is shadowing. Johnson bats it back in. Yellow can't get a hold on it. Johnson squeezed out of the play, and Modano picks it up. Still, it's the Americans all around that net, really turning it on here, piling on the pressure. Yellow spun around and eventually flipped up on the wing, and the break is on for Finland. Waiting for support. Guori flipped it in, and Casey will get there, leaves it for Norton. Gently tipped down the ice. Järvinen will go to it. Stevens pushes him into the woodwork. Kind of rides him like a surfboard for a moment. Otto losing out, and the Finns now trying to get something going with Wilander. Wilander fans on the pass but hangs on to the puck. Brown upsets him. Laxola pushes it in. Dahlquist now will try to get it out of the zone, and Brown will pick up the pass from Dahlquist all the way down the ice.
The Americans are changing about every 25 to 40 seconds out here at the moment. Really putting the pressure on and getting quick changes.
Play continues as that is pushed right to Casey's doorstep. Up on the wing now with Fritsch breaking to the far side. The pass comes through. Play allowed to continue as Turkkanen picks it up for Finland. Turkkanen being shadowed by Fritsch. Some good work there by number 15 for USA. Up along the boards, but Johnson was always going to get there first. Deep into Finnish territory. They wave off that icing call again. You can see the shrug from the goaltender. Why, he says. Finland with Suominen trying to get that in front. Still it's Suominen. One hand on the stick, gets it back to Kusisto. An easy shot there for Casey. Still it's Finland doing the wraparound right across the goal mouth. It's not away. The shot coming in. Casey makes the save. Another one, and Casey bats it away again. O'Regan goes after it and does the right thing there by shooting it out into the neutral zone. Another shot right on Casey. Offside is the call. Some good action, but some great goaltending.
Excellent goaltending by John Casey. Very alert, stood up, held his ground, really kicked a couple of nice shots out there. There's one opportunity there. That's Järvenpää. Can't put the backhander in. The puck directly goes back to the point. Here's a big shot coming right at him. There's Casey's view. Great pad save there. The rebound still laying around, and Casey's back on his feet and ready. Shot through a screen. Casey has a view on that, gets a glove on it, knocks it away with a stick. John Casey with some good stuff out there.
So Casey keeping USA in the game here. 5 minutes to go in this third and final period. The Americans lead by 1, 2-1 the score. Still wide open stuff as Cole gets all over Suominen. Yellow. Heikki Lime. Yellow gets it back. Looking for that break, looking for that pass up on the wing. Eventually it comes as Johnson goes after Ruutu. Cole goes in to help out. Dahlqvist got in the way there for a moment, but now the Americans break out. O'Regan breaks for the net. Yellow will always have this one and gets it up on the wing. A nice pass from him to Suominen. Suominen going down. Suominen trying to do something fancy right on the blue line. And the Americans now with number 14, Johnson, getting the shot away. Another shot goes wide. And now it's USA's turn to keep the pressure on. Ruutu, who's been out there a long time, gets it up to Wilander. Wilander working his way in, takes the shot. That takes a bounce all the way back to Laxola. Ruutunen taken out of the play, and they have to regroup with Keskinen getting it back. Laxola flipped up to the blue line, all the way up to number 14, Järvinen, and the offside whistle goes, and the crowd really didn't appreciate that one.
Järvinen made a good attempt to corral that puck as the pass was just behind him, but he was just over the blue line when he got control. There you see the long pass. Järvinen's on the move here. He's on the outside. Does a good job to try and control that puck. That is a close call. That's even tough to call on a replay.
You could see Pentti Matikainen having a look down at Lindfors, telling him, keep your eye on me. If the score remains like this, 2-1 for USA, keep your eye on the goalie. They're bound to pull him out in favor of an extra attacker. Wilander gets that one to center, and now the Finns with 3 men forward. The high shot for Casey leaves it for Modano. He can't get a handle on it, and Otto gets it up to Stevens. Stevens takes it into the zone, breaks off a check there, still looking for somebody to pass to. Stevens over to the far side, and Otto will go for it. Otto gets knocked to the ice. Modano now goes after his man, but the Finns bring it out. Järvinen slamming on the break. Suominen takes the shot, and a great save by Casey. Johnson picks it up, and the Americans get off lightly again. Lindfors shoots that one all the way out to Christian Ruutu. Ruutu taken out nicely by Reynolds on the wing, and you can see the Americans getting all 5 players back into the zone as Casey pounces on that. Some good defensive stuff. They're queuing up on that blue line to take these guys out.
Suominen versus Casey. Casey won that battle. He came up big there. Suominen, like Ruutu, can really get a step on the defense. He's a very quick forward. He can't be left alone. He walks in here. He's all alone. Casey comes up big, as I just said. Great save as he came right out. Suominen just failed to put that one in the goal.
Two minutes, 5 seconds, 2-1 the score. A great finish here. The Finns with the draw deep in USA territory. The crowd right behind them. 2 minutes to go now. They got to put the pressure on. The Americans can't afford to make a mistake. Brown flips it to the side of the goal. Lum brings it out. Miller brought it back in to Brown, and he got over to the far side to Dahlqvist. Heikki Lime, the long pass. Wilander deflects it in. Ruutu was there, but Norton gets to it first. They got to get more penetration on that puck. The Finns I'm talking about, of course, as we come up to 1:15 on the game. The Finns trail by 1. They would dearly love a face-off deep in USA territory. Lindfors way out of his net now, waiting for instructions. Offside is the call. And will they go with it with the face-off in the neutral zone?
Smart play by the Americans. One man doing the forechecking. The other two forwards are staying back to help out the defense. They had the blue line well stacked. That keeps the Finns from getting the puck in deep and controlling it.
Ruutu and Johnson having words there. No time for either team to get a penalty. Pentti Matikainen will have his eye on the goalie. Lindfors is being called over as we have a timeout on the play. Instructions will be to Lindfors, when we got possession deep in the zone, you got to come.
Well, Matikainen's trying to tell his players, look, you've got to get the puck in the zone deep. Whether you dump it, that's up to you, but if you do dump that puck, make sure there's two of you going for it all the time. Try and force a face-off deep in that American zone so we can get Lindfors off the ice.
The officials calling them over to the far side for the face-off in the neutral zone. There's the time. 1 minute, 2 seconds, 2-1 the score. The roar from the crowd. A lot of Finnish supporters here willing their team on. Tim Taylor looks cool, looks calm. He thinks he's got this one. Ruutu picks it up. Batted off his stick, and that goes down the ice. Lindfors still waiting for the opportunity to come out of the goal. Ruutunen along in the corner. Some good work there by Cole. Cole and Sacco doing a great job of forechecking, making it difficult for Verlander and Coe to get started here. Still it's Coe trying to get that in front. Ruutu picks it up, bounces it off the boards. 30 seconds to go in the game. Sacco still giving them problems there in their own zone. Sacco again gets in the way. The pass now right up the middle. Lindfors goes off. The shot hits the side of the net. Wilander was there. The goaltender was down. And that one goes all the way down. Ruutunen touches it for the icing call, and it missed the open net. So a chance at both ends.
Sacco and Cole doing some great work. The play breaks down, it goes down the ice. The American defense is caught. There's Wilander all by himself, and he hits the side of the net. He's going to see that one in his sleep tonight. Casey has to come out and try and make a play. He's too late. Wielander's got the whole goal and can't put it in the back of the net.
What a finish. The net at the other end is still wide open. Lindfors is off. The face-off with 11 seconds to go is deep in USA territory. 6 attackers on there for Finland. An all-important face-off for both teams.
The U.S. defense fell asleep for 1 split second, and they almost found themselves in a draw.
A lot of time being taken on this face-off. Wilander's getting set. Ruutu gets it back. Laxola takes the shot. The save coming from Casey. The Americans tip it out, and that'll be it. Just a couple of seconds now. No time for a real shot on goal. There goes the buzzer to end the game. A great finish. But at the end, USA 2, Finland 1.
Casey with a great save right at the end. The Finns got what they wanted out of that face-off.
Well, an excellent win for USA as they continue their winning ways. Let's take a look now at the results from Day 8. Norway 7-3 over West Germany. 2-1 for USA over Finland.
A good result for the U.S. and a good result for Norway as well.
Well, it's nice to see the new kids on the block winning games in Pool A. Let's take a look now at the tables. Canada on their own in first place with 12. The Soviets, the Swedes, and then the Czechs will be fighting it out for the medals. USA, Finland, Norway, and West Germany will be seeing who goes down to Pool B next year.
The West Germans are in all kinds of trouble. Norwegians had a good performance against them. That knots them with Finland with 3 points. The Americans are clearly in fifth now with 6 points.
Well, the Canadians, the only undefeated team, and they're coming up tomorrow. They're going to be playing against the USSR. That one's going to be live Thursday, the 26th of April. The Soviets against the Canadians, 7 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock European time.
Battle of the Giants here. A lot of competition between these two teams as they've had many series in Canada in the past.
So that's going to be a big one. Don't miss it. Also, on Thursday, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock European, Czechoslovakia against Sweden. So the top four battle it out tomorrow night.
Excellent games coming up on Eurosport with both of those teams right there looking to stay in this competition.
So, a good game here for the Americans over the Finns as they celebrate. Join us tomorrow for USSR against Canada, Czechoslovakia against Sweden. From Richard Beaupre and Paul Ferguson, bye for now.